Welcome to Switch It Up. We are in Boston for a mere few hours because we just flew in after seeing family. So if you were coming to Boston, what would you do if you only had a few hours?
Well, I would change my plans to have more than a few hours.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There's so much here.
But we only have a few hours before we have to leave and go get our RV. So we just thought maybe we would take and explore some areas we have not seen before. So that's what we're doing today.
But then we'll tell you the other things to add to your list because we've been here.
Yes.
So
that sounds like a plan.
yes.
All right. So we'll roll the intro and we're going to
leave
jump
them
into
hanging.
this. Yeah, we won't leave you hanging. There's a tea thing whistling going on behind me.
Tea. Want some tea, anybody?
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
I think what's weird is how we're in this city and usually you hear like a lot of sirens, but listen how quiet it actually is. It's not like super loud.
It's just got a very cool, historic feel. And look at that mailbox. It's not very busy.
It's Monday. Oh, it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. No. Yes, it's Tuesday. Apparently Sheila's looking for Acorn Street here in Boston.
They say it's one of the most photographed and historic.
Sure.
So we're gonna go look.
We're gonna go look.
We're gonna go.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
Can you imagine? So
No, I can't imagine.
running your horse and buggy on this.
I think I'll walk on the sidewalk.
Look at this. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture because that's pretty cool.
Because that's what you do
That's what you do.
on Acorn Street.
Yeah.
I guess I should take a picture. If that's what you do on Acorn Street. I can't even walk on this road. It's so cobbly.
Sure, we've been in this street.
I thought we have. Can you imagine how much it would be to own one of these houses right here? I mean, it's kind of crazy. What's the plaque say?
I'm reading. Hold on. Early 19th century, they built these row houses between and on the sites of estates.
All I know is if you're going to drive down here, I fit the Bronco. But I was rubbing the curb. It's a tight fit right through there, just so you know.
Like about being in the New England area is just it's the richest history we have in the States, right?
Yeah.
As far as architecture and things happening This is it. This is as old as we get. Is
Oh, there is barbecue. Here we are in Boston eating barbecue because that's what we do from Kansas City.
we're in Massachusetts. There's other options, but this sounded good.
And it's right here.
It is right here. Let's see. Just follow your nose. Look right over. The smoke shop.
It's something.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we are. We're getting ready to try the burnt ends.
I've got brisket.
You got brisket. So it looks super yummy. But you never know when you're traveling what you're going to run into. So, oh, it's super tender. That's pretty darn good.
And then after this, we could go across the street.
It's got a little heat to it. Little kick in the barbecue sauce. Barbecue, check. That was actually really good.
We needed some food in our bellies to continue on. I guess you guys are used to that though, because pretty much every time we're out journeying around, we have to eat.
So right down the road, Sheila saw this tea party, Boston Tea Party thing, or whatever.
Yeah, it's a museum. It's the ship, like replicas of the ships, and so we're gonna go look at, learn some about the tea party.
There's our parking space. It's just $42.
Parking in these downtown cities is a premium.
I hear like whistling.
It's the, what was that they played? It's almost like a recorder, only not.
Flute?
Oh, but it didn't go this direction.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, maybe it did.
Okay, here we go.
Go see all this in just a couple hours.
Let's back up. About 2.5, 3 years ago, we came through Boston and we actually did the whole tour, the Freedom
We
Trail.
did the Freedom Trail, which was so cool that I would love to do again, but we ain't got time today.
So on that were places that we didn't get to see, and so we decided that we would come and spill the tea. That's a thing. That's like a. They didn't even know back then they were spilling the tea.
Stop.
But we did do all of these amazing things, from the meeting houses, the Boston Common area, the Massachusetts State House. All of those things were in that video.
Paul Revere's house.
Yes.
I guess you could show them. You could put a link there and take them to that video.
All right. So now we are at the museum, I believe, for the Boston Tea Party. And I see some ships, but I don't know what this is. So we're going to run into this little museum. Then Sheila has another area she wants to look at. We went ahead and paid for the tour. It's the only way you can do this is do the tour.
Yes, it's a museum and guided tour.
So, just so you know, that by the time we paid for parking, and now the zoo tour is $74. We have not walked a half a block and spent $100.
Welcome to America.
Obviously, when you come here, be prepared. History costs money, friends. Who are you?
I'm Joshua.
You're Joshua? Okay. And I'm Adam.
I'm 15. A 15-year-old blacksmith apprentice. That's why.
You look like that. Okay, so are we supposed to read this?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to read it.
Okay. I'm a leather dresser.
The heck's a leather dresser?
Spirit behind your head. Punch towards the heavens and shout, Huzzah! You're practicing that one, I can tell. But you will hear some things today that you disagree with, things you don't like. In that case, you may feel inclined to boo. Go on and boo! Boo! Or perhaps a more serpentine. And if you're very upset by anything that you do here today, I'm giving you my permission to use that most offensive word we have here in colonial Boston. Oh yes, that word is phi, F-I-E. It comes with an equally obscene hand gesture as well. And seeing as we have a few attendees here who are a bit younger in years, I'm going to go ahead and teach it to you all, so watch closely. Alright? Stick out your thumb, pat on your nose, raise the flag, wave the flag, turn to your wish to permanently offend and say phi! You are very young in terms.
How did you pay for them? I did not pay for them. I was forced to choose between new windows or putting food in my family's belly.
Thank you, Mr. Brewer. My friends, this is no decision that any father should have to make, especially one so young. That was in response to outrageous subsidies that the merchants possibly banded together, signing non-importation agreements. In that we stated we would not buy or sell any more unjustly.
I think we're angry mob members right now. Can you hear? We're gonna go destroy tea.
If tea was our only problem right now.
Yeah, tea was our only problem. Huzzah! Oh, those are cool.
Boston soil.
Oh, I see what the Missoula's phony man upon the Spartacus tea. Say aye!
Aye!
You come here to cast off this yoke of parliamentary tyranny. Say aye!
Aye!
You come here to be caught and arrested for treason. Say aye!
Oh.
For one shining moment, I thought we were going to. Treason is a serious crime with a serious punishment, which of course is yes, death by hanging, a fate we'd far rather avoid. 2, 3, over the side!
This is like when we did the boat with on the Erie Canal. This was what I had to steer with. You haven't seen? That'd be a tiring job as you're sailing across the ocean. And the ships are not as big as I thought they were going to be.
The ship would have been. That's a very tiny
kitchen.
Galley. For such a long trip to get here, it's a very tiny.
Huh.
Well, it depends which direction you're going. From Boston to London, it's between 4 and 6 weeks. Another additional 2 weeks added to that journey when you're sailing on the way back and you're fighting the trade winds and currents. So anywhere between 1 and 2 months, really.
1 to 2 months here and 1 to 2 months back. And
They
then
probably
they throw all your tea in the water. You didn't get any money.
Have gone by as if it's only been about 10 minutes. And we should not linger too much longer at the scene of the crime. So, if you are done destroying tea and exploring the brig, I'm going to ask you to follow me this way to the back deck. There's this list of 160 names on the wall right here. Because I probably should explain that before we flee the scene. So everyone go and look at your identity in case you've forgotten your name by now. 53 years. Huzzah! That first individual who came forward is a second to last name. Who has the card that says Joshua Wyeth? Ah, marvelous. Now, Mr. Wyeth here is only 15 years old the night of the tea's destruction, and a few decades later, when it is safe to do so, Mr. Wyeth will come forward and he will announce that he was in fact here destroying tea. He's going to call this the hardest night's work of his entire life, and he will list a handful of names of people he remembers being down here destroying tea with him, amongst them being myself, Mr. Frothingham. So thank you for remembering me after all that time. That really means a lot. After he comes forward, more do follow suit. Who has the card that says George Robert different tea views on it. This cannot be called an entirely accurate representation of every person who was here destroying tea. By the time that Mr. Wyeth and Mr. Hughes had come forward, many of the people on this list had already gone to the grave with their secret, taking the oath of secrecy very seriously. Now, I'm going to call upon one more person, think of one more time for one more quick story. So I'm going to have the card that says Francis Akeley, name number 1. Ah, Mr. Akeley, but the rest of us keep our secret for 53 years. Mr. Akeley here keeps his secret for an honorable 3 days.
Way to go.
Yes, well, he goes to a tavern a few nights after the tea's destruction, and after a few ales, he starts feeling very proud of his involvement in this crime. And when he starts bragging about it, he's overheard by a customs informant who immediately has him thrown in jail. I agree, would you?
What?
I might have to get a cookie.
A cookie?
Can you smell it? Can you smell something?
I have to tell you, that was an amazing presentation. We weren't allowed to film to show you the last crate that they had from the Boston Tea Party. It was the only one standing. Pretty cool story. And the video presentation that they did right up to the Revolutionary War, spot on. Probably the best thing that we've seen on any of our travels showing the history.
We're selling their tea and we're taxing it on our own tax.
Yeah, we're taxing ourselves. Taxing ourselves on our own tea. I was sharing earlier that little presentation was spot on. It's probably the best presentation we've seen in all of our stuff.
It was very well done. Yeah, it was very, very well done. All I could think of was, dang, if you're a homeschooling parent or have grandkids, this would be a great place to just kind of help them put that history
in context.
And it helps it come alive, like in that what happened right here. That helps you learn things, I think. But they did a very great job with it.
Now, Sheila is on the hunt for this place called Flower.
It's Flower Bakery because it is on Bobby Flay's list. He said it is the best thing that he's ever eaten. I thought, well, we should get one for breakfast tomorrow. Think it'll last till breakfast?
Maybe. We'll see. Here it is. Flower.
It's a bakery.
What are you gonna get?
This is what Bobby Flay said to get.
A sticky bun?
I don't know why. Looks like a normal sticky bun.
Okay, what'd you choose?
Okay, I chose the thing that Bobby Flay said is the best thing, which is a sticky bun.
Uh-huh.
And then I got us a slice of banana bread. So this is breakfast for tomorrow.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. If you can
I can hold
eat
out.
it.
I
You
can.
hold
I can.
out?
Yeah, I can hold out. So I can.
All night?
Yeah, I can.
Not gonna eat it.
Nope, not gonna eat nothing.
All right.
I'm good.
It's breakfast.
Are you locking it? As we're heading out of Boston, we're still in the suburbs of Boston. She was like, I gotta drop off a UPS package. So we're dropping off a UPS package, but then she was like, wait a minute, I found something historic. So we're gonna
Well, we're getting ready. The UPS package that we gotta drop this off to UPS. So we're gonna walk. It's actually on High Street, which they say Paul Revere Road. So we've just spent 20 minutes in car going, and we went over bridges to get to this High Street where we're going to return this. But fun fact is we spent 20 minutes by car. And Paul Revere came from where we were just at to here on this direction on horse down High Street.
Was it on High Street?
It was. I don't know if it was High Street then, but it's High Street now.
Yep. Tell them the British are coming.
But I'm questioning how long you think that took him. I mean, it was the fastest horse in the time, you know.
Well, you didn't have traffic.
Brown Beauty, Brown Betty, Brown, what was her?
Yeah, it was like that. Brown Betty, Brown Beauty.
What was the name of that one?
I don't know.
Well, anyway. So, fun fact.
Fun fact. We got another fun fact up here somewhere.
Look, High Street, there it is.
High Street. Just look at it. Do they have?
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 lanes. This is a weird intersection.
It's historic. There it is. We have found something very historic.
You mean Lafayette was here? I see that
Yeah,
too.
that's over there. Lafayette was right there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then at 19 High Street.
Well, and Paul Revere was right here. He
Yeah.
came through here, experienced their hospitality.
Yeah, but there's a plaque right here.
I know. It's even more historic because you know this one.
Okay, this is like a Paul Harvey moment. The rest of the story, and we're bringing it to you. Like I don't think there's another RV YouTuber could ever uncover this nugget.
It's a fun fact.
Okay, lay it on them.
Well, I don't remember the year now. What's this thing? 1850. So 1850. This building. Well, it wasn't this building.
Yeah,
There was,
it's an eye doctor now.
yeah, it was a tavern then.
Yes.
This is where the song Jingle Bells was composed by James Pierpont. I think that's his name.
Right there.
Pierpont. He wrote the song Jingle Bells.
Right here on this street.
Yep, in the tavern.
In the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another thing. It wasn't meant to originally be a song for Christmas.
No, it was meant as a Thanksgiving song. And it was actually titled
One Horse Open Sleigh.
Yes.
And we butchered it, and I guess we took it over for Christmas. I don't know that.
Kids started singing it for Christmas, I guess, and it became a Christmas song.
So now you know the history and where Jingle Bells. It was formed in Medford, outside of Boston.
There's a fight between Massachusetts and South Carolina about the real, but they copyrighted when he was living down there, but this is where he actually wrote it. So that's how the story goes.
We even uncover those like nuggets of rivalries.
Fighting, yes, exactly.
All right. Anything else you want to share? This wonderful historic building that was a tavern?
Now I found my UPS store. That's the day in the life of RV life, right?
Yeah. No tickets.
No tickets.
We didn't get a ticket. That's a plus.
Oh, we didn't have to pay for parking. That's a plus. We
Yeah.
just dropping off a package. It looks like that. It doesn't look like no tavern. Like a house. Do you see it?
No, we'll have to get out and look.
Oh, there it is. I spy it.
Okay.
All right. History tour continues. On we go.
You're right. The history tour does continue. So, from where we last left you in Jingle Bells, we are now in Lexington, which is approximately 8 miles. So they went from where the Boston Tea Party was, kind of in that area, and then they hiked all the way here, and they were letting everyone know. Paul Revere was like, hey, they're coming. And then the Minuteman all got ready. You know, that's Todd history. That's how it all went.
It took 16 months.
Yeah, before
the first,
this all went down. From the Boston Tea Party to the fight with the Minuteman was 16 months.
But the first shots rang out here.
Okay, so there's a monument up here.
Let's
We
go.
even have more. There's more to this story. It's kind of crazy to think that we've been traveling
like
across the United States. It's like uncovering
It
layers
is.
of a cake.
It's like a little Alice in Wonderland tunnel we're in.
This is cool though.
We learned about, like, our video videos just build upon each other, one after another.
Well, no, there's other things here too.
Yes.
So remember the fallen soldiers when we went?
Yeah. Tell them about that.
Okay, first, let's talk about this. So this is, I guess, where it all went down. So apparently, over there,
There's a tavern.
there's a tavern. And they were sitting there waiting to get word back to find out if the British were actually coming. So they were all kind of sleeping in there, having some cocktails.
No coffee.
Coffee, no cocktails.
Right.
Then they got word that they were coming. So then they got all ready.
Formed 2 rows,
Mm-hmm.
came out, and this is where the first shots were fired of the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
16 months after the Tea Party.
Where we just were.
Yes.
And we're about probably, I'd say, well, depending because there's roads and stuff, I'd say 9 miles.
Not far.
Right.
A long time in driving.
There was no, all along the way, they knew that they'd been outed. Their surprise was not, they knew, everyone knew that they were coming because they could hear bells in the distance. Paul Revere did his, his best to notify everyone. So by the time they got here, no big surprise. So they met out here, and I think, was it 14 people died? The Minutemen died?
I don't remember. I thought it was 49. But...
No, it was 49 by the time it was done. But
okay.
For the first skirmish, it was 14. Then, I'll tell you another little tidbit. So then, this is cool. So by the time they had to retreat, right, and they're now going back to Boston to try to get towards their ship. By then, Minutemen, by the tune of 4,000, had now lined the path, basically, and they had to fight their way all the way back. And 250-ish of the good old British lost their lives getting back to the ship.
Well, I think I thought it was cool at the Boston Tea Party when they said they realized that we were willing to fight for our freedom. They realized that this was a real thing.
It was going to be a real thing. We're no cowering.
We're going to fight for our freedom.
Yeah. Here's a cool little switch it up turn of events. There's a couple of them here. Number 1, when we first hit the road, we headed west. And to find the musket that fired the first shot for this battle that's right here, the gentleman that owns said musket is actually in DuBois, Wyoming.
Yes.
That
was a cool little stop.
Yeah, he owns one of the biggest military type museums with tanks and military.
It's his private collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and he got in a bidding war with the Smithsonian because he owns
that musket.
And it's on display right there when you walk into there. So that musket is in our video from when we went to DuBois. That is pretty cool. Number 2, which is neat, there's 2 aspects when Sheila walked up and saw these pennies. So if you notice all of the change that's down here, let me see if I can capture it. There's 2 things happening here. One, it could be a number of military, which this is where I'm leaning towards. A number of military personnel that have come here and left basically patronage, because we learned this when you go to a lot of the walls and you see coins. And that was in our video when we went to the Infantry Museum.
In Georgia.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. And I believe because the men that died for freedom lost their lives, the Minutemen, that's why we have all of the change that's here.
If you think about kind of just our journey, though, for the last 4 years, all the little pieces across America, you could just piece them all together from places we've been, from Georgia to Wyoming to, Boston up north. It all just comes together and it just weaves this beautiful story of America.
It has been quite the journey.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen so much.
And just all the little nuggets along the way, and we learn a lot.
Yeah.
We do.
And this was a little, for us, we flew in, legitimately we're okay, we've got some time before going back to let's just hang out in Boston and see things we didn't see.
Right.
So Sheila, on the way here, she was okay, think about this, because we went there and we did the first walk.
Yeah, we did the freedom trail, which is amazing.
Yeah, and that is all kinds of history. And then this is a secondary to the story.
This had to happen first.
Right.
We had to start there in order to get to the Freedom Trail, and that all began in Boston and ended. And we, getting to be on the road full time, get to just experience all the little pieces of this country. It's pretty awesome.
So Lexington, we don't have any time really to hang out here. We just wanted to swing through.
Gonna put it on the comeback list.
That's what we do. And now that we, you know, even know more information, it's kind of like awesome to know when we come back we have another piece of the story we'll want to pick up in the future.
It's like making a giant puzzle.
I know, but it's so fun. This turned out to be an odd little coincidence video. Like, there's a lot of layers in this video you have to pay attention to, but it is very unique and different.
We just are excited to bring it to you, just taking you on the journey with us. So thanks for coming along. Peace, liberty, and independence in the United States of America.
I like that they nobly dared to be free.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
So the remains of those who fell in the Battle of Lexington were brought here from the old cemetery. Brought here April 20th, 1835, and buried within the railing.
So after reading this part here, that also brings us to our other video when we went to Salem, and we learned that a lot of times witches, like them or not, or if you are a Wiccan or whatever, that's your choice. But what we've learned is, now that we know that the people that have passed were brought here and buried, what they do a lot of times is to gain favor, they will use pennies to try to gain favor to speak to the spirit.
I like the idea of all these pennies are just fellow soldiers who are just paying their respect.
I do.
It feels much better.
But I don't know if there is any context amongst the change that's here.
I don't know.
It could be two things. It is cool that their remains were brought here, though, as part of the memorial.
I think in this country, we just really take for granted all that had to happen for us to have the freedoms that we have. We just don't even think about it.
No.
Right? Like, just even this battle, what all took place, and all the families' lives are surrounding that. We just don't even, we just shoop it right over.
Well, good morning. We are in the hotel lobby because I needed to come down and grab some coffee. And I know we left you off wondering if this sticky bun from Flour was going to be as good as they say it's going to be. And Sheila's trying it right now. Is it? The question is Sheila's taste buds is equivalent to Bobby Flay?
Well, no, his are much more sophisticated. But to me, that's the best sticky bun I've ever had.
Oh, shut up.
You try it.
Come on,
You
Sheila.
try it. I'm telling you. Now you try it. Here. I warmed it up a little bit. It's flaky. It's not dense like a... It's pretty good.
Yes, it is pretty good.
Best sticky bun you've ever had.
Now, Sheila, let's take it down a notch. Ever in my whole entire life,
Yeah.
I don't have a folder for best sticky buns in their category.
Do you remember any other sticky bun you have
No.
had? All right, then. This is
Then
the
it's
best
the
one.
best one I've ever had. All right, so I guess it's a win.
It's a win.
If you're going to be in Boston, stop at Flour
Stop at Flour.
and
They
get the
have, like,
best sticky
several
bun you will
locations.
ever have in your whole entire life.
Yes. You let us know if you've had it before.
Okay.
And we're going to go pick up the rig. Oh, are you wanting more?
Yeah, I'll have some more. But I'm filming, so I can't just grab anything.
Well, we'll just talk to you while I eat this whole bun then.
Yeah.
Get back to the
RV life.
RV life, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Until
We'll
then.
probably eat another snack.
Probably. So hopefully you enjoyed this fun little excursion just for a few hours in Boston. And back to the RV. It's a drive day. Drive days are always fun. With that being said, Sheila.
We're out.